Explain how this Google HTC deal is actually going to work.
Right. In some ways, it's sort of a third time's the charm, right? Because Google has obviously done hardware before. They bought Motorola. They made a big purchase for Nest. This one's a little bit smaller. It's more of like a talent acquisition. So they effectively have 2,000 engineers that were working on the Google Pixel device from HTC that are now going to be working on primarily on Google hardware, not just the Pixel device, but also their speakers, their VR devices, and kind of whatever in the portfolio they're planning to put out.
So, Aydin, some people are worried that this is deja vu. Google spent $12.5 billion on Motorola Mobility, then sold it 3 years later for $3 billion to Lenovo. What's your take?
I think I agree with some of the points that Mark has made. I do think that it is a big competitive battle right now around consumer devices, especially the phones. 2,000 experienced engineers is not going to be that easy for them to get. I think it's a great move. I also think that it's interesting that it shows that they have learned from the Motorola experience that they're actually getting the 2,000 engineers, but this is not an all-out acquisition of HTC itself and the manufacturing facilities, and it's a much smaller amount of the billion. Google is much larger now. So from a risk perspective, I'm not sure it's quite in the same profile as the Motorola move was for them. And given how important VR has become and how important, this kind of next generation mobile phones and how VR, AR is going to get integrated, I can see why this is pretty strategic for them, not to mention other consumer devices, given the new importance of Google Home.